Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We have more gaming and PlayStation news, rumours and leaks to cover today. Only one place to start. A new symbol has quietly appeared inside the PlayStation 5's software, and it's got a lot of people talking for all kinds of different reasons. It's called the cross-buy icon, and it was recently discovered by a user who goes by the name of Amethyst on X. Now he claims that this mysterious icon, along with a few others, appeared sometime around March 2025. And what's strange is that these icons weren't officially announced by Sony PlayStation, they just showed up. Now this isn't the first time users have data mined icons from the PlayStation 5's system files, but what makes this one different is that it does fit in perfectly with Sony's existing design style. It looks official, right? The same layout, same shading, same proportions. Nothing about it actually seems fake. So what exactly could this new cross-buy icon mean? Now, if you've ever played on Xbox, you might have heard of something called Play Anywhere. Now, Play Anywhere is Microsoft's system that lets you buy a game as a gamer on Xbox, and you only pay for it once, but you access it on both console and PC. You purchase a title on Xbox, and just like that, you can play it on your computer too, no extra charge. The idea is simple and it's quite powerful. And now it looks like Sony might be experimenting with their own similar system. Imagine being able to buy a PlayStation 5 game and automatically owning the PC version as well. No need to double dip like some people do. No need to wait for sales. You just own it across both platforms on both the console and your PC under your PlayStation Network account. Now that would be a big deal, not only for players, but also for future opportunities and how Sony connects its console and PC ecosystems. But here's where it gets even more interesting, because alongside the cross-buy icon, users also found another logo labeled PS5/PC. This one seems to mark which games are available on both platforms like God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, The Last of Us. These logos weren't found on PlayStation 4 system files, only the PS5. And that suggests that Sony might be setting up something new for its current console generation. Now, some people think these icons might be connected to Sony's rumored handheld device, the one that is supposed to stream or play PS5 games on the go. But if it's purely a streaming device, then a cross-buy label doesn't entirely make sense. You wouldn't really buy another version, you just actually stream the same one. So maybe this isn't about a handheld at all. Maybe Sony is thinking bigger, and I mean a lot bigger. It's possible that they're planning for the long-term future of the PlayStation ecosystem, a world where PS4, PS5, and even the future PS6 all share one connected library, a world where all your purchases follow you no matter what hardware you're currently playing on. And you think about that for a second. If Sony wants players to stay loyal and keep investing in the platform, doesn't it make sense to let them carry on playing their games and move those games forward across generations and across platforms too? It could also help boost PlayStation Plus subscriptions, since players could enjoy the games on multiple devices. Another less exciting theory is that cross-buy icon might simply be used to label titles that already include both PS4 and PS5 versions in one purchase, something we've technically had since the PlayStation 5's launch. Now that would be useful, but sure, it's not really groundbreaking, is it? Still, the fact that Sony added these icons quietly suggests something bigger is brewing here. Companies don't just design official system icons for no reason. According to the leak, there were other icons discovered too, things like Echo Mode, possibly related to energy-saving features, symbols tied to cloud saves or DualSense touchpad functions. And these were visible within the PlayStation 5's internal system database, but completely missed from the PlayStation 4. So far, Sony hasn't commented publicly, but a few journalists and data miners have confirmed that the screenshots and even the posted videos of the icons in the PlayStation 5's interface is real. And that brings up another big question. What is Sony planning here? Are we seeing the early stages of a more open, more consumer-friendly PlayStation ecosystem? One that competes directly with Xbox's Play Anywhere? Is that possible? Or is this just another small quality of life update that'll quietly roll out without any fanfare? A few years ago, it was reported that Sony were working on their own PC launcher. Are these logos connected to the PlayStation PC launcher? Is that a possibility? I mean, how would that exactly work? What about third-party games? Those are launching in Steam, right? And how does that tie in with the PC launcher? I mean, there's so many questions. And also, let's not forget, one of the main reasons why Xbox's hardware has become less appealing over recent years is you don't actually need an Xbox to play Xbox games anymore. So you simply play them on PC, thanks to Microsoft's unified ecosystem. So if PlayStation now is starting to think about beginning to release its games on both PC and console at the same time, wouldn't that impact the PlayStation future sales? Wouldn't PlayStation and Sony be in a similar situation to Xbox? Some players might stop caring about buying future consoles altogether and just stick with PC instead, right? I mean, after all, if you want raw power, top performance, and the flexibility to tweak your settings, and you also want access to all the main games from Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, then surely a gaming PC makes a lot of sense, right? But here's the thing. I don't think Sony plans to make its major releases available on PC day one alongside the console version. That just doesn't fit their strategy. It's more likely that this new cross-buy feature will mean that if you buy a cross-buy PlayStation game, and that same game then releases on PC at a later date, you'll automatically get access to it on PC as well. Although we don't know if Sony is going to charge extra for the cross-buy version. They probably will. That approach keeps the console relevant because the only place you'll be able to play that game is on the console first, right? So that approach keeps the console relevant while still giving players flexibility in the long run to play that on PC when it does eventually come to PC. But of course, some players might choose to wait for the PC version instead, and that's fine too. I mean, it is also possible that the PlayStation version with the cross-buy option is going to cost more than a standard PlayStation 5 game. Whether that puts people off or not, I don't know. But it really does come down to choice. You know, do you want to play the game as soon as it launches on PlayStation and then enjoy it later on PC, which may cost a little extra? Or do you want to hold off and just pay it once when the PC version drops? I suppose the trade-off is that the PC version comes out a little bit later. Either way, it's a smart way for Sony to bridge the gap between console and PC without losing what makes the PlayStation platform valuable. It allows them to keep the focus on their hardware first and then open those games up later to a wider audience a year or so later, once the initial console wave has passed. And with more than 80 million PlayStation 5 units sold so far, Sony is in a pretty strong position. The console momentum is undeniable, but it's also reaching the point where players are looking towards the future, and maybe Sony knows it needs to adapt to a new gaming landscape, one where PC, console, and cloud and handheld all blend together. But whatever happens, it's clear that something's changing behind the scenes at Sony for them to be even thinking about this type of stuff long term. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm fascinated to get an insight into your thoughts behind this. Now let's move on and talk about Marvel and Insomniac Games. If you've played Marvel Spider-Man or Miles Morales, you already know how special those games are. They didn't just capture Spider-Man's movement, they nailed the feeling of being Spider-Man. The heart, the humor, the responsibility, and all that kind of stuff, right? 3 really good games. Regardless of the order of which you rank them, there's no denying that all 3 Spider-Man games are excellent. And according to Marvel Games General Manager Haluk Mentes, the partnership between Marvel and Insomniac is not slowing down anytime soon. In an interview with Game Informer, Mentes called the studio dear friends and said Marvel plans to work with them for many years to come. And that's a very big statement. He planned that Marvel looks for partners who don't just want to make a licensed product, but who want to share the same creative values, the same love for storytelling and character that defines Marvel itself. He said that when they finished Spider-Man and Miles Morales, Insomniac wasn't just a collaborator anymore, they'd become part of the Marvel family. Now with Marvel Wolverine in development, it's clear the relationship has only gotten stronger. Mentes even said it was obvious that Insomniac were the right choice to bring Wolverine to life. Especially after a decade of working so closely together on these Spider-Man games, it's not just about 1 or 2 games anymore, it's a long-term creative partnership. And that has a lot of people wondering, could this mean that we're going to start to see even more Marvel Heroes games made by Insomniac in the future? There have been rumors, unconfirmed of course, and obviously the Insomniac hack, which revealed internal plans about a possible Venom spin-off game, and even whispers and rumors about a larger Marvel's X-Men project somewhere further down the line. Now, leaks should always be taken with caution, especially after the unfortunate Insomniac data breach. Those leaks mentioned projects many years away, and plans can always change, we know that. But even if a fraction of it turns out to be true, it suggests that Insomniac might be quietly building its own connected Marvel universe within the PlayStation ecosystem, and that would make perfect sense. They are the perfect studio for these types of superhero games. After all, the Spider-Man games are amongst the best-selling PlayStation games of all time. Players love them. The storytelling, the gameplay, the polish, everything about them screams quality. It's no wonder Marvel and Sony would want to keep that momentum going. It also reinforces Sony's broader strategy in investing in strong first-party studios that can deliver blockbuster experiences tied to beloved franchises. And when you think about it, Sony's approach here isn't that different from what it's doing with the PlayStation 5's platform features. Both are about building loyalty, whether that's giving players more ways to access their games or giving them unforgettable worlds to get lost in. So while the leaked icons might represent the future of how we play, the Marvel partnership represents the heart of why we play. Sony seems to be moving in both directions, expanding its reach while deepening its roots. And that's a combination that could shape the next decade of PlayStation in ways that we're only beginning to see. Right guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and as always, I will catch you on the next video.